Dr. Hoskins. Wanted to share with you that in my home office. I wanted to check in with you before I went over to the chiropractic office to get ready for everybody to show up. I just did a wonderful, probably the best ever video in the history of mankind. Unfortunately, Facebook, Windows chose to connect a microphone that I've never connected to this machine before, so I missed all that. So John Fester, if you're back on again, appreciate you reaching out to me and saying hi. Yes, we do need to connect. I miss you. Hope things are going well with you down there in Florida. Now, back to why I want to make this video. If you look at the three things I listed on the hashtags, now more than ever, y'all need to think about health in a way that makes sense and encompasses the entire totality of what's available. A worldview is not complete if it misses some of the information. We also need to have hope over fear. There's too much evidence out there, clinical, research, anecdotal, about having a positive mental attitude, thinking about things in a proper way with hope, with realistic hope, allows our body to be healthier than if we live in fear. Fear causes our immune system to be depressed. Fear causes, well, a lot of other things interpersonally and internally. So we need to have hope more than fear. And so what I'm going to challenge you to do is think about things in a different way. Step back and think about things more realistically. I'm not going to tell you how to think. That's be just what I'm counseling you to get away from. I'm not going to tell you how to think. I'm going to present you information so that you can make a rational, reasonable, informed decision. Are you going to live in fear that a partial RNA strand is going to destroy the world and all humanity? Or you can have some hope that our bodies were built with the ability to take care of themselves. Even the germ theorists, the ones that think vaccines and these other drugs are going to save humanity, rely on the immune system of the host to process this injected concoction to do its job. So even they are admitting that it's not the virus, it's the host. The host needs to be stronger. And the best way to have a strong immune system is to have a strong thought process and a strong nervous system. The psychoneuroimmunology complex is fascinating. It's beyond comprehension. They're still finding out more about it. You can get a PhD doctorate in psychoneuroimmunology. It is it's unrefutable, it's irrefutable, it's unquestionable that there's that connection. And so when you let fear take over your thought processes, fearing every little thing, whether it makes sense or not, your nervous system starts to, okay, if that's what you want, that's what we're going to do. And that brings down your immune system by default. That's just the way we're wired. That's the way we're made. Can't argue with it. It's scientific fact. When you live in a reasonable hope, not a false hope, not a everything's going to be rosy and perfect. If you live in a realistic hope, it's like, you know what, we were given this body. If germs were the problem, we would have been wiped out as a race, as a species, a long time ago. If you realize that the host has a lot to do with this immune thing, and like I said, even the virologists, the ones that have an alternate view of things, admit that because they're relying on the host immune system to take care of these things. Make it as strong as possible. Do your research, find out about things. Also realize there's a lot of fear going on. There's a lot of dismay and chaos going on. Just talked to a guy down in Florida, and he said that he heard on the radio today that the hospital system down where he lives lost $70 million last month because elective processes, MRIs, CAT scans, surgeries, elective, all of those things weren't happening. And he was pleading on air for people to come in and start those processes back up. Otherwise, the hospital system was going to go belly up. Is that really how we want to live? Is that really where we need to focus our things? You may choose yes. That's fine. That's your choice. As for me and my household, we choose something different. So now more than ever, we need to rethink things. Now more than ever, you need to get real information. You need to get real science. You need to get a complete picture of what's going on and make that decision for you. And my hope is that you turn towards the hope side of things rather than the fear side of things. Now, I'm not going to say that anything in our lives can be absolutely perfect without flaw, because I'm also a biblical Christian. And I understand Genesis chapter 3 tells us about the fall of mankind and how sin entered the world, and everything is now less than perfect. But we need to be the best we possibly can be within that part of the worldview. We cannot be 100% perfect. All of us eventually die. Our bodies eventually break down and stop. That is fact. That is irrefutable, undeniable. You just can't argue with it. So, how are we going to make that 100% of what's possible? Hope is part of it. A fully functioning, unhindered, uninterrupted nervous system is part of it. Eating healthy, moving well, all of those things are part of it. And what I'm proposing to you today is chiropractic is also part of that, because what we do is we remove interferences in the brain-body connection. That flow of information, the mental impulse from the brain, from the organizational center of everything, out to the body, goes over the nerves. That's also irrefutable. What we do is we take pressure off that system so it can function as good as it possibly can at that moment in time. And then over time, we keep it tuned up to stay at that level. Are you ever going to get sick under chiropractic care? Probably, because being sick doesn't mean that you're anything other than your immune system is taking care of an invader. Are you going to get extremely sick and have complications? Might. I can't prevent car accidents. I can't prevent slips and falls. I can't prevent other things. But you have the best chance possible if you have a clear nervous system. And that's all I'm proposing. Proposing you think about that as part of your worldview. And also, vertebral subluxation, that's what we take care of. That's the interference. That's what we need to focus on in chiropractic. That's what I focus on in my office. That's what we focus on with our people. So I want to invite you in on a regular basis so that we can keep your system clear. If you're not in this area, let me know. I'm happy to find you somebody. I've been very direct in this. I'm usually not. I'm usually more upbeat and encouraging rather than confrontational. But now more than ever, we need hope over fear. And chiropractic can help you with that in what we do. Love you guys. Look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, obviously reach out. If you need a referral, please reach out. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. It's a great Monday, and I'll be in the office from 1 to 6 today. Love you guys. Bye-bye.